What kind of world do we live in where a man dressed up as a bat gets all my press? This town needs an enema. Shout out to Hockey Mike Masaki because that is one of his notification sounds. This town needs an enema. Like when he gets like an email or something, so I hear it all day long at work. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. We are on episode 84. I am back from parts unknown for the time being. Happy to be back. I've missed you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're on a little bit earlier now. I did the daylight savings time thing. Hopefully this works out better for everybody. You guys started it last week. Hopefully everybody got the memo to show up on time today at 5 o'clock. But again, thank you very much for joining us. Episode 84. Always joining us always on the bottom part of our screen. The first ever PWP champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are things? I've been gone for a month. Anything you need to report?
No, not other than the fact that we missed you terribly.
Yeah,
Especially when I had to break down Wrestle House last week without you.
Yes, I will be mentioning Wrestle House. I will be mentioning Wrestling House in the Impact segment as the greatest hour and a half 2 hours of wrestling television in the year 2021. Joining us on the top part of our screen, Mike Maida's cousin, John Smith. John, how are things? Have you talked to Mike lately? I haven't talked to Mike at all lately.
Who are you again?
Who am I?
I don't reckon. Oh, Al. Oh,
I'm Tyler. Tyler.
Yeah, no, I talk to Mike Maida every now and then. You know, he tells me how much he loves The Miz, and I hang up on him. You know.
Yeah, I'm doing a very, very poor Tyler Adele impersonation by not making the show due to work. I recognize it. I understand it. I will be trying my best to do better going forward. On today's episode of the Essential Wrestling Podcast, I forgot to mention, is always powered by the Eastern Observer. You can taste the power. On today's show, Cody Rhodes forgot a very valuable childhood lesson of stop, drop, and roll when you're on fire in AEW. Matt Cardona with a big pin on Moose and Impact. Gary Mehaffy, unfortunately, he is a little under the weather today overseas. He will not be joining us. Ryan Joy will step in. Ryan will pull double duty. He will be here to discuss NXT UK and the two huge championship matches from this past Thursday. And then Ryan will also be discussing Ring of Honor's final battle. I believe it is the final show of their company's history. That's a little sad. I'm still hoping that Triple H just buys Ring of Honor and takes everyone that was future endeavored, because that would be one hell of a show with all the guys that WWE released and they just put them on there. People will watch. That's just me, though. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows, presented by MinutesToBellTime.com. You see all the graphics, the statistics, and the ticker on the bottom. Now that I'm back, all the hard work that John DeConnie and Ryan Joy do, timing all of the matches and the results, they will be on the bottom ticker as we talk about their segment. We're going to be making a pick sponsored by MinutesToBellTime.com. And, of course, as always, sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And guys, I forgot I had this graphic. Guys, is it gone? Where is he? It got deleted.
Oh no.
Oh well, she'll like it too. I guess we'll have to get that back again. We're going to main event the show with WWE and the two huge championship match main events on Raw and SmackDown. But we are going to curtain jerk the show today, ladies and gentlemen, with the two most famous words that William Regal utters throughout the course of the calendar year: War Games.
War Games.
War Games. So we have War Games. Before we even get into it, is TakeOver officially dead? Like, is it done? Like, there's no more TakeOver? Like, this is starting the new era? Because it wasn't TakeOver War Games. It was just War Games. So I think the TakeOver era is officially gone. This was the first show of the 2.0 era, and it main evented the men's the men's War Games match, Team 2.0 They got the job done over Team Black and Gold, John DeConnie. Or, I'm sorry, John Smith. I don't have my notes flipped.
Yeah, so the match started off. We get the heels coming out first, and then Mello starts the match off for them, and then we get all the faces coming out, and then Johnny Gargano comes out to his old music, which was a nice surprise for his possible send off match, quote unquote. So the two of them start the match. Nice little 5-minute display between the two of them before Grayson Waller comes in. The heels had the advantage for the match, so they're going to be getting the one-man advantage as the match moves on. Pete Dunne came after that to even the odds. Then when Tony D'Angelo comes in, him and Trick Williams start throwing in all the goodies, all the tables and all the garbage cans, all that kind of stuff, until Dexter Lumis crawls out from underneath and scares Trick away. So, even the odds on that one. So we got no more Trick. Dexter gives Johnny the thumbs up just before he leaves. Johnny gives it back to him and then gets planted with the DDT or something. LA Knight comes in next. But before that, they chained the cage shut so he couldn't get in. So LA Knight had to climb in over the top and did a nice little high-flying move off the top rope, which we don't get to see much from LA Knight, so that was pretty cool. Braun Breaker came down and ripped the padlock off the chain so he could get in. And then Ciampa was the last one to come in. And now that I'm talking about it, I don't remember how the hell the match ended. Braun Breaker got Ciampa up in the press slam and did the press slam to him for the victory. Eventually.
Yeah, it's a move kind of like what Goldberg actually used to do, and then I don't know. I don't want to compare Braun Breaker to Goldberg. I don't think that's fair to Braun. But James Wheeler chiming in. This event has completely changed the landscape of NXT forever. John Smith, your thoughts on that? Maybe I would say yes, only because it seemed like in that promo with Team Black and Gold at the beginning, it all centered on Johnny. I don't know, Johnny, this is for you, this, that, and the other. And then it said they brought out the Rebel Heart music, which we all know and love. Changed forever with this match?
I would have said I would agree if I went perfect on this pay-per-view because I had all the new blood winning, but all the this was the only match that all the new blood did win. We got the Von Wagner turn, we got Imperium somehow still having those champions. Like it's still old guard a little bit. So, maybe the fact that if Johnny's leaving, then maybe there is a page that's being turned. But I don't know if the landscape's changed forever.
John DeConnie, the women also had a War Games match. It was I thought it was Team Raquel versus Team Dakota. I don't know. They were Team Kaylee Ray versus Team Toxic. Maybe I got my captains mixed up here. But on the one team, probably had three of the greatest women's champions in NXT history with Cora Jade, and Cora Jade was the one that ended up stealing the show.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So we had Kaylee Ray, one of those great champions you were speaking of.
Forever champion.
Our forever champion, exactly. She started off. She brought a baseball bat in with her. Dakota started off for her side. She brought like a 6-pack of kendo sticks. Then Cora Jade shows up with her skateboard. Gigi shows up with a garbage can and a duffel bag that I'm trying to remember as I see it here in my notes. I don't remember if we ever found out what was in the duffel bag. But that came in with her. Then Io came in with a chair and another garbage can. And once she was inside, she kind of like flashed us back to last year. Her entrance with the garbage can over her head. She scaled the side of the cage with the garbage can in tow, like she was going to do that flop back inside. And I forget who it was, but one of the competitors came up behind her, knocked the can out of her hands, and pulled her down off the cage. Then let's see. Io came in with the chair. Then JC was up next. She brought in the tables that would go to good use shortly thereafter because Cora Jade would put JC through a table with a sick diving senton, like just a flipping senton off the top of the cage that in real time looked like she killed herself. It looked like she snapped her neck. But then she started selling a shoulder injury. She couldn't move her arm, but that's okay. Io is not a doctor, nor does she play one on TV, but she popped that bad boy right back into the socket. That looked terrible until you started to realize, okay, she's not really all that hurt, so we're going to get away with that. Then Raquel.
Kids, don't try that one at home. If somebody dislocates their shoulder, call a doctor. Like, don't try to pop it back in. Like,
you do not want to do that.
No.
Raquel was last for her team to get in. She brought more garbage cans, chairs, and Dakota's shovel and used the fire extinguisher before actually getting in.
I believe that was Sting's shovel before Dakota took it.
Say that again?
I believe that was Sting's shovel before Dakota.
But it wasn't the golden one. It wasn't Cody's golden shovel.
No, it wasn't.
Then Mandy is the last to enter, and War Games officially begins.
Making a point real quick, John, because you mentioned, I noticed this. Everybody that went in there brought something with them, with the exception of Mandy Rose. She was just like, no, walk right in. Like, no weapons for me.
As usual, Mandy bringing nothing to the table but her looks. Oops, did I say that?
Yeah, she brought that cake with her.
So the ladies put on a hell of a show. They were very brutal. The match went over 31 minutes, and it ended with Raquel hitting a Chingona bomb on Mandy and Cora Jade somehow crawling into the cover and pinning the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose, to give Raquel, Io, Cora, and Kaylee Ray the victory.
MinuteToBellTime.com chiming in. I don't like this joke, but to be fair, I'll tell you this. So even though Hunter doesn't have a shovel on this show, it's Sting's shovel. Literally Hunter's shovel. He's not there anymore. He's still at home washing his tights. He's still recovering. So Hunter, get well soon. That's he's still at home. I guess Shawn Michaels, I think, provided an update with him that he's doing okay. And it was a lot worse than what happened. Was a lot worse than people were making it out to be. With the remaining of the show, Roderick Strong defeated Joe Gacy to retain the Cruiserweight Championship, so that title will go back into its, I guess, next to Joe Gacy wanted to expand it to women and fat people and all that stuff, right? He wanted to be all exclusive. So it looks like Roddy's going to keep it to 205 and under. Cameron Grimes defeated Duke Hudson in the hair versus hair match. Should have saw this coming a mile away when Duke Hudson flashed a picture of a bald Cameron Grimes on NXT last Tuesday night. That one was kind of a layup. And then in the Tag Team Championship match, Imperium defeated Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner to retain the titles. But post-match, with the Wagner heel turn, completely setting off Kyle O'Reilly, who was inspired by the War Games team of the night, challenged Von Wagner to a steel cage match. This will happen tonight on NXT 2.0. Rumors running rampant that Kyle O'Reilly is kind of in the same boat that Johnny Gargano is at the moment, and this could possibly be it. So I guess pay it forward, right? Adam Cole stay to do the right thing to put over Kyle, and now Kyle is most likely John Smith going to have to do the same to the guy who's still wearing his Halloween costume.
Yep. Good old Brad Pitt over here is going to get the victory, and good riddance to Kyle O'Reilly. Can't get over in NXT, you don't belong.
Ow. John LeConnie.
Yeah, it's really it's dangerous to say this when it comes to anything under the WWE umbrella, but it's the only thing that makes sense that Kyle should put the youngster over on his way out the door.
Yep. And then I believe all of his buddies are over on AEW, Red Dragon and the Elite and everything, right? He's got options over there. Santos Escobar, Zion Quinn, they've been going at it. Electric Lopez is deep involved in this as well. John Smith is our resident Legado del Fantasma enthusiast. Who do you got?
Santos hasn't lost much, so I'm going to have to go with Santos by hook or crook.
I would have liked to have seen this match at War Games, John McConney. Like this should have been a pay-per-view match.
Absolutely, it should have been. I guess since it's not for points, I'll go out on a limb here and say once again the new blood goes over. Give me Zion.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Zion Quinn too. Santos is definitely going to have to cheat to win. to get this if that's how that goes. That'll do it for NXT 2.0. Before we move forward, just real quick, you know what was a fun game I liked to play when I was a kid? It was a really fun game. Leapfrog. And I did the both of you after War Games, as now I moved into second place behind Ryan Joy. Still a lot behind Ryan Joy. I nailed War Games. Nobody else did too well, so I actually leapfrogged Gary as well. I'm now the leader in NXT 2.0. And I guess technically I'm undefeated in 2.0 pay-per-views, right? I guess this is the first one. So how about that for the snack on that for lunch? And I've caught John Smith as well, nailing. I got the last two pay-per-views correct. I got Turning Point, nailed that, and I got War Games. I have now tied John Smith in the Henning category for perfect pay-per-views.
Oh, it's time for Al's end of the year run of going. What was last year? 31-0 or something like
31
that.
straight matches. Whew. We had that. Oh, is it a throwback throw? Like I said, we were talking about that in pre-production. Throwback throwdown is going to be tough considering they're all playing different characters. They're playing 80s characters. As that, there you go. And he's also, I think, John Smith is an electrical. Oh, John, really? Something you're not telling us?
I am enthusiastic about Electra Lopez in a completely different way than I'm enthusiastic about Santos Escobar.
All right, gentlemen, we are going to bid you adieu for the time being. Go say hi to your loved ones, get some groceries, and we will see you back shortly. Let me get the name tags off. I always end up putting the names over the guy's face. And subbing in Mehaffy is Dark Order member number. Oh, you got the Batman reference. There you go. This time
Did you say something about Batman stealing your press?
Yeah. What kind of world do we live in, Rye, where a man dressed as a bat? There you go. There's a man dressed as a bat steals all my press.
Oh, shoot,
Ryan, how's everything going today? Couple things before we get started, Ryan. First things first, as always, I know I thank you a million times before. Thank you so much for filling in for me while I'm able to provide for my family. I greatly appreciate it. Second, as I sent you a video yesterday. I got their Christmas gift early. I got a Miz Funko Pop in the mail from minutestobelltime.com. So we can put this, maybe it'll stick right there. There you go. That is up.
Wow.
Oh, too far.
He just sticks to the wall. I didn't know that was a feature.
Yeah, well, when you're a hockey guy, you always have a roll of clear tape laying around. So thank you so much for that. That was awesome. That made my day yesterday. The video I sent you, I thought was pretty funny too. I did the music.
Good stuff.
Anything before we switch gears to go overseas, Ryan? Anything you want to throw out there? I know you said this actually War Games exceeded your expectations.
I thought so. I was really worried about War Games because, I mean, I think like Braun Breaker and Tony D'Angelo together, I think only had like 11 pro matches. So, to put them in a big 38-minute match, I was concerned that War Games was not going to live up. And to be fair, I don't think it did live up to past War Games events, but the show was way, way better than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of down on it and thought it would be kind of bad, and I thought it was pretty good.
So. I thought it was decent as well. Like I said, there was a lot of people like Cora Jade and Toxic Attraction. I thought they were in over their head as well. I'm like, oh my God. And they did okay, I guess. They're learning. Raquel, Io, Dakota, even Mandy's been in chamber matches. It's not like this is new to her, so right. It's like.
And both Cora, she was in that position where she got the injury. So she got to sit out most of the match, but I thought her facials were really good. The acting part of what she was doing, I thought was really good. So
try to keep it clean here, Ryan. All right, so good. Yeah, so it was a big spot for a lot of them. They did well. I thought they did well. So,
and I got enough points to maintain my my lead in the pool, and I am a solid 100+ points ahead of everybody else, and that's the way it should be.
Oh, you got me by 100, or is it close? Oh, yeah, 107. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're going to switch gears. We're going to go from stateside. We're going to go overseas. Two huge NXT UK Championship matches. We got Dragunov versus Rampage Brown Did that end how it was supposed to end? That was
I don't.
weird. And normally shows with these types of caliber matches go over an hour. I believe this was like a 50-minute show. I think they still had a lot left to go there.
Yeah, I think there was definitely more match left on the table. I think they're probably going to definitely get a return here. And yeah, I mean, all it was Dragunov hit an Enziguri, and he must have caught Rampage Brown in the wrong spot of the head, and the referee stopped the match. I don't know that I've seen a stoppage like that in NXT UK yet. So that was clear an accidental finish. So we're definitely
I don't think, because the camera wasn't really on Rampage when they were doing this, and there was a trainer. It wasn't like he was outside, facing the Titantron on the so you only saw his back, and there was a trainer there looking at it. Maybe it was a dislocated jaw or something. You saw the replay. They try to protect themselves getting their hands up. I know some guys are better at hiding that than others, but you can see the foot kind of sneak behind Rampage's hand, and it caught him flush. I don't think it was a knockout, but maybe like a dislocated jaw or something.
He didn't go down. I don't think he even went down on his hands. I mean, he went down to his knees, but I don't think he was knocked out or anything like that. So it must have been more of what you're saying, a dislocated jaw or something. So hopefully he battles back here.
Yeah, so like I said, that was an unfortunate ending. What was supposed to be an absolutely outstanding match that people were waiting for. These are two of their top guys, if not the two top guys. Other than maybe like Tyler Bate and Joe Coffey. So we'll see what happens there when they go back at it again. Teal Man via phone call and Rohan Raja welcome Charlie Dempsey to De Familia. Now Rohan couldn't put the phone on speaker. Like, was that too much to ask Rohan Raja to put the phone on speaker? Like that was.
I mean, he got a camera crew and everything to document their little meeting on the roof, so I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, but
the bridge too far to get their phone on speaker.
Saxon Huxley defeated Kenny Williams after Kenny got distracted by Subculture's music being played and took the reverse FU.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna call it a UF. I think that makes the most sense. So we got the win by NXT UK's resident Muppet Monster, Saxon.
I think Huxley's got a couple of wins under his belt now too. He might be. Maybe they're gonna throw him at a championship match to pad somebody's record.
Yeah, he's getting streaky. And then the NXT UK Women's Championship match. My girl finally got her shot. Daddy made some phone calls and got her a shot. NXT UK's version of Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I believe she's going to kill this gimmick. Miko got the win with the Scorpio Rising, it's called, the kick, whatever it was. But you saw her pouting outside. Like, she's going to get another shot. Like, she's going to go right on the phone with Daddy.
The funny thing is, I don't think Daddy made the phone call. If you go back and watch the interaction she had with Sid Scala, she walks in and says, okay, wins my match. And Sid's like, what are you talking about? He's like, and she just annoyed him to the point where he's like, fine, have your match. Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. So
Daddy's gonna hear about that loss. Yeah, she's gonna be right on the phone, and she's going to kill this character. I am so happy for her. It's so good. With that, through that, I guess backstage, Amelia McKenzie, she was backstage. She greeted Miko after the match, congratulated on victory. Here comes Blair Davenport. I guess Miko's going back to Japan for a little bit. She's going home for the holidays. Good for her. Spend some time with her family. Like I said, that's Minoru Suzuki's wife, right? So that's going to go home to Minoru. But Blair Davenport said she's going to get some of Amelia McKenzie next week. So this is actually a pretty big match. It's almost like talking with Gary. I don't know if you've been talking with Gary about this, but in my head, I feel like it's going to be one of these two that is going to beat Miko for the title, so it'll be interesting to see where they go after this match and what happens with this match. So what are you thinking here, Ryan?
I think they are going to go with Blair Davenport here getting a win over Amelia McKenzie. They haven't announced a Blair Davenport versus Mako Satomura match yet, so my assumption here is Blair's going to win, and then there's going to be some post-match beatdown stuff to where Mako is kind of forced into giving Blair a match out of revenge type of situation.
Rocky IV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rocky IV.
I'm going to go the other way with this, just because I don't want to say I'm hell bent on it, but I think that Blair Davenport is going to be the one that eventually takes the title from Mako. But I think they're going to have that friendly,
Exhibition.
Yeah, a friendly match. It's going to be a title match. I don't call it an exhibition. It's going to be a title match. I think she's going to give Amelia a shot. And then Miko will win that, and then she'll go on to lose to Blair Davenport after that. So I'm going to go with Amelia right now. I think you're right, though. I think either way, Blair is going to either attack her or just jump her after the match, and to a point where Miko's, exactly, when she comes back.
Take some liberties. Yeah, for sure.
I know I might be stealing your gimmick here, Rye, but where the F is Walter?
Where the F is Walter? I do know Walter is doing some indie shows over in the, I don't want to say UK, but in Europe. So he's just not doing anything on NXT UK for right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's not. Like I said, Miko's going home for a couple months. Walter can take some time off. He was champ for 9,000 days. Like he can take a couple days off.
Yeah, he did have a year of no title defenses, but yes.
Shaw Samuel's betting board has Samson Gradwell at 4,000 to 1 odds to be the next number one contender for the UK title. Gradwell did not appreciate that, so a little side wager on a fight this Thursday between said Shaw Samuels and Samson Gradwell.
I think this one could go either way. It doesn't even really matter. Shaw Samuels got his loss to Noam. Not Shaw Samuels. Sam Gradwell lost to Noam Dar last week, so they're not really building towards another Gradwell Dar match. I don't think so. Maybe Shaw wins this one, or maybe Sam. You know what? I'm gonna go with Sam, as Sam getting his win back for losing last week.
Yeah, I think it's either gonna be Gradwell. These two just you got two like heels that have dirty tag. They might just brawl for a double count out. Like they're just like Bad News Brown style. Just
maybe Dar doesn't help Shaw, and maybe that starts a little issue between Shaw and Dar. Something like that, maybe.
And then in the main event, the potential main event, we have a UK Tag Team Championship match. Mustache Mountain getting their shot at Pretty Deadly. Gary has been waiting for this match, and specifically for this heel turn from Trent Seven for months now. We've been talking this. This is we're upwards on the area of Sasha Banks and Bayley here, but that's how long we've been waiting for this heel turn. So for this breakup. So is this going to be it, right?
The thing I challenged Gary on last week, and it would be interesting to get your opinion on this as well. Tyler Bate is so zen now. What could Trent Seven possibly do to anger him? Like, I feel like Trent Seven could like run him over with a truck, and Tyler Bate would forgive him the next second because Bate is so zen about everything now. So I don't know if they can even get to a match between the two guys.
Okay, that's potential. I think there's going to be something. Like Trent knows Tyler very well. They've been best friends, tag team partners, tag team champions. Like if Trent knows what could hurt Tyler personally, I'm guessing if that's the case, like maybe like kick his dog or something. Like he knows how to get the Trent to get the Tyler Bate. That's what I'm thinking. Take a dump in the Heritage Cup. He could probably do that.
Yeah. So I'd pick Pretty Deadly to win this match, and I think we're probably looking at something between these two. It just has felt that way for a long time.
Yeah, you can be like, sure, like when it's a singles match and your championship's on the line, you always win. But when it's my time, when it's to get a belt, Tyler Bates getting the pin. He's taking the L here. Yeah. So I'll go with Pretty Deadly as well. So that will wrap it up with NXT UK. We have I guess from what you're saying, the final Ring of Honor show ever.
Well, they've already announced in April they're going to be running Supercard of Honor WrestleMania weekend. So that's on the docket. But this is definitely the end of an era for them. That's how they're billing this. Ring of Honor's final battle, end of an era. The reality is they will have no contracted wrestlers after this. Mm-hmm. So they will only be, bringing in people and paying per date. And they won't have exclusive contracts with anybody after this. So it's kind of the end. So whoever leaves with the titles here, I don't know what that really means. Maybe they go on tour with those titles, other places like, the Briscoes are wrestling in GCW and, other places. I think I'm trying to remember. There was a ROH, at the NWA pay-per-view last weekend. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett defended the ROH tag titles, so maybe you'll see some more of that. Companies working together to feature the ROH belts, but this is the end. So here's some of the big matches. You have the ROH World Champion Bandito squaring off against
Barely, Gary. Barely surviving.
Yeah. Maybe, well, if as long as you're doing the comments, Gary, where the F is Walter?
Yeah.
Sorry. So Bandito going up, defending the title against Jonathan Gresham. That's the main event. I kind of expect Bandito to lose this. I think Jonathan Gresham will be the guy that holds the ROH through these uncertain times. The Briscoes, they're going for their 12th reign as ROH World Tag Champions. They're challenging champions Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. The television champion Dalton Castle will be defending in a 4-way against Rhett Titus, Silas Young, and Joe Hendry. That match was just announced. Pure champion Josh Woods, who is incredible. He was on he was at the most recent AEW Dark tapings, so they're at least taking a look at him. He'll be defending against Brian Johnson, who is another incredible talent that's very underrated. ROH World Women's Championship, Roxy defending against Willow Nightingale. A fight without honor between Shane Taylor and Kenny King. The 6-man titles are on the line. Up and down, lots and lots of matches. So
yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like a great card. And the Briscoes don't walk out of there with the titles. It's a crime.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they will, because I actually kind of think that should be the main event. The Briscoes are sort of the franchise people. So
he's where Virginia is. That is correct.
Yeah. There you go. So,
how about this one? James Wheeler chiming in. He wants to see Joe Janela and Ember Moon in the new Ring of Honor.
I think it's possible. Here's what I think is most likely happening. In April, they're going to run Supercard of Honor, and they're going to put some matches together based on who is available. And if Ember Moon is available, I'm sure they'll make an offer to have her on the show. Especially, I'm sure she has a relationship with Roxy. They're both from Texas and both have dealt with through Booker T's training and stuff like that. So it makes a lot of sense to me that you might see her there. Who was the other person that he mentioned?
Joey Janela. I forgot the change.
Oh, Joey Janela. Yeah, I mean, he's sort of your GCW guy, but you never know.
Yeah, I forgot to change the bottom banner. Let the NXT to UK banner run for a second. There's Zaya Brookside's lost. Damn, never mind. I'm taking it off. All right. So when is this? Is this Friday? This Saturday? When is this? Saturday night.
November 11th.
Okay.
8 o'clock.
Pay-per-view, or is it what is it on? Is it on Fight, right? Fight.
You get it on if you're an Honor Club VIP, you can get it on Honor Club. Otherwise, yes, it's pay-per-view. You can get it on Fight TV.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Ryan, stay right there. We're going to bring back in John Smith. We're going to bring back in John DeConti. And Ryan, I know you said you had to get out of here, so we're going to get you get some dynamite in here early this week. Once I find the right name tag, there we go. Boom, there we go. Ryan, Cody Rhodes and Andrade, they had the Atlanta street fight.
Yeah, that's right, an Atlanta street fight, and the crowd was really into this. They were saying, "Cody sucks." Yes, he does. Cody sucks. Yes, he does. So they weren't divided on this. They were not Cody fans in Cody's hometown, unfortunately.
I'm taking partial credit for this, by the way.
Yes, you're the one who put the sign up there, and I think after that he hasn't been cheered loudly since.
That's when you kicked him in the shins at the Prudential Center, right?
The on-site reports are that he does get cheered some, but he's way drowned out by the Cody sucks chants. There's far more people chanting that way. So, but Cody wanted to have a big spot in this match. The last time they were at Atlanta, he did a moonsault off the top of a steel cage onto Wardlow. So he wanted to have a big spot in this. And pretty early on in the match, you could see that Cody had something on his back. It looked like a really, really bad sunburn. it was, I guess, in the end, some flame retardant material that was on the back of his back, because Brandy Rhodes came out, lit a table on fire, and Cody suplexed Andrade through it. Cody took most of the fire. Cody rolled over, got a pin as Andrade's patting the fire out on Cody's trunks. So Cody gets the win here in Atlanta, main event, and they were all chanting in unison with John Smith at home. Cody sucks.
It took CM Punk 10 minutes to beat Lee Moriarty. I had this argument about Kenny Omega all those years ago too, having freaking It was a great match. Yes, barn burner of a match, but CM Punk needs to beat Lee Moriarty in quicker than 10 minutes.
Boy, that match with Alan Angels all those years ago really killed Kenny Omega's career, didn't it?
I know, right? But but what did it do for Alan Angels? Oh, that's right, he's losing to Bryan Danielson in 7
Yep,
minutes.
it's probably the end of Bryan Danielson's career too. Because 6 minutes.
And Punk's getting old. Like I said, Punk's a fellow 10-26er. He's a year older than I am. So Punk's now, I think he's what, like 23 now?
Something like that.
Wardlow defeated In Action. Yeah, that was great. The TBS Championship Tournament, John DeConnie. The 4 women that had the buys, the 3 prior before this match, they advanced. A lot of people on this panel, if I remember correctly, when this bracket came out, a lot of people were on Chris Statlander.
Yes, indeed. And, that wasn't a crazy pick to make. She is one of the stronger females in the AEW women's division. And she, not all that long ago, was getting a nice push. But the shiny new toy is Ruby Soho. And these two put on a really nice match for about 10 minutes. There were some sloppy moments. There were some really cool spots. At one point, I think Ruby hit a Hurricane Rana, and instead of going all the way over with it, Chris Statlander just hand walked out of it over to the ropes. And we definitely saw her power advantage over Ruby. She kind of tossed her around here and there, but in the end, she got her up for the Big Bang Theory. And Ruby rolled underneath. Very nice, take on the roll up. She grabbed Chris Statlander's ankles for the old Raw roll up and the 1, 2, 3, and she's moving on. Then afterwards, the lady. Go right ahead.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, John? Keep going.
I was just going to say that in the end, the 2 ladies gave each other a very respectful hug, and Statlander rolled out. Then Nyla Rose made her way in behind Ruby's back while Ruby was kind of celebrating on the turnbuckle. She yanked her down off the turnbuckle. Statlander came back in and made the save so that Nyla couldn't do any more damage. But that is her next opponent, as you have right here in the graphic, Ruby Soho going up against Nyla Rose.
Yeah, so I believe this is what I had. I said I had the 3 women getting the bye, I had them advancing, and I had Ruby Soho. I can't remember who I picked after this, but is it going to be? I would love to see a Thunder Rosa Ruby Soho final here. I do believe that they were the final 2 in that Battle Royal, the casino, whatever the last Battle Royal was at the last pay-per-view, where the winner got the number 1 contender match, right? And Ruby ended up taking out Thunder Rosa. It was Ruby's debut, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Wow, how about that for memory here? Also, just to stay, I don't want to steal Ryan Joy's gimmick here, but he did send me a graphic. MJF, CM Punk, they're going to get at it at some point. They got into it verbally after Punk's barn burner with Lee Moriarty. No date yet. Winner is coming. Probably be the obvious one. Right, that's in a couple of weeks.
That's a big match, though. Feels like a pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bryan Danielson, he defeated Alan Angels. As we said, I think he's going to start just trucking through the Dark Order now, huh? John Smith, who do you got?
Yeah, give me Bryan Danielson in this one. I love what he's doing. I'm so happy he's a heel.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Ryan Joy.
Danielson's booking it, right, John Smith?
No, Cody's booking it. Danielson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bryan Danielson's going to definitely win this match on his way to a loss against Hangman Page the next week.
Gary's going with Thunder Rosa to win the tournament. That'd be pretty cool. She's got to get something, though. She's piggybacking.
I don't feel like Thunder Rosa. I don't think Thunder Rosa's making it out of this round. I think Jade's going
Yeah, it'll be tough. Jade Cargill, she was in action on Rampage. She won in 30-something seconds. So that's how you take care of it in action.
Poor Janai Kai.
Good job. And I think Wardlow did it too. Wardlow defeated Naz. I think it was like a minute 30, right? There you go.
Yeah.
Truck right through him.
But he was like playing with his food.
Yeah.
You know?
John DeConnie, do you have any reason to take Johnny Hungy here?
Only my love for Johnny Hungy, but in reality, no. Bryan Danielson.
Okay. We're going to have Riho is going to be, I guess she's eventually getting a shot at the AEW World Women's Championship. No date yet, Ryan Joy. Again, winter is coming.
Yeah, winter is coming, but they also have Battle of the Belts as a Saturday special coming up too. So one of the two.
Okay. In the meantime, Riho will be fighting Jamie Hayter on Wednesday night.
She got some pythons on her, huh?
That looks like it.
She's in the gun club. Hey. Ryan Joy, who do you got in this?
Well, I think Riho has to win because she has the shot against Britt Baker. But I think there's going to be some issues between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter that continue in this match. They started a while back when Britt cost Jamie the match in the TBS tournament, and so I think we're going to continue to see that, so that we eventually get to Jamie versus Britt. Maybe Riho versus Britt at Winter is Coming, and then Jamie versus Britt maybe at Battle for the Belts.
Yeah, Riho, former women's champion, John DeConnie. First ever.
Yeah, there you go. And I think she will take this one here. I think she might take a beating afterwards from Hayter and Britt and Rebel, but I think she gets the 1, 2, 3.
Now, John Smith, if Riho ends up becoming tag team partners with Ruby, are they going to change the song to Ruby, 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 Riho?
Yes. I can confirm that.
Okay, good.
I got Riho winning this one.
Riho
Can't all be gold. They can't all be gold. I know that one was stupid. I thought it was silly, though. Anyway. Young Bucks have a match against the Best Friends, right? Rocky Romero's in this Best Friends group now. It's him and Chucky T.
This is Chaos, not
Chaos. There you go.
Not Best Friends. When Rocky's there, it's Chaos, I guess.
Gotcha. All right, who do you got? Ryan Joy, stand corrected. Who do you got?
Young Bucks going to take this one. I think pretty. Till Trent gets back, I don't think the Best Friends are winning very much, or Chaos.
Any word on when Trent is going to be back?
Nothing.
Wow.
Which probably
John
means
Smith.
this week.
There should be a morning show where we can discuss tops like that when people are coming back from injuries. John Smith.
Yeah, I'll go with the Bucks on this one too. They're booking it, right?
John DeConnie.
Yeah, give me the Bucks.
All right, I'll go with the Bucks too. Then why not? And then it's that magical time of year. We have the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. MJF will be competing for his third Dynamite Diamond. He has won the prior 2 years. Now, I do believe, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. Last year, we kind of stumbled and forgot what the rules of this whole thing was. So, just a clarification, the Battle Royal tomorrow night, there's going to be 2 winners. And those 2 will fight the following week for the Dynamite Diamond.
That's right.
So, we're looking at 2 people here. MJF should be a lock to be one of them. You would think, maybe. Is this where CM Punk? This is where is it no date yet? Will they just fight over the Dynamite Diamond?
There's a lot of fun things that could happen here. First of all, it could come down to Wardlow and MJF. There's that. Another thing, it could come down to Dante Martin and Lio Rush, or maybe Dante Martin actually is doing a double swerve with Team Taz, and Dante and Leo will take out Team Taz, or maybe it'll be 2 members of Team Taz in there in the end. So there's a lot of interesting things that could happen here. Just to be different, though, I'll pick Dante and Lio Rush to win tomorrow night.
All right.
Sure.
John Smith.
Yeah, give me MJF, and they haven't announced anybody for this thing. Or
Just
do you
Team
know?
Taz, Team Taz, Leo Rush, and MJF.
Gary's getting silly overseas right now.
Well, I like the MJF and Wardlow idea. Let me go with those two.
Okay. John Connie. I believe Wardlow came in third last year, right? Whoever, I forget who.
It was
Was it
Orange
Sting?
Cassidy.
It was Orange Cassidy. It was MJF versus Orange Cassidy. I think Wardlow was the last one that was eliminated.
Probably by MJF.
Probably.
Yeah. Give me MJF definitely being this. I think it's a little too quick for the Wardlow program with him because he's already kind of knee deep in it with Punk. So give me I don't know. Give me Dante Martin. Last one in there with him.
Yeah, Dante Martin. All right. All right. So let me just look over the entire AEW roster here.
Where's your binder?
Yeah, I think MJF has to be. How about Jungle Boy? Screw it. I haven't seen him in a little bit, right? He hasn't. When all else fails, go Jungle Boy, right?
Why not?
Sure. All right, and then on Friday night on Rampage, Brian Joy, fun tag team match, main event.
Yeah, it was not quite what we thought we were going to get if you missed Dynamite that week. It was supposed to be FTR versus Pac and Penta for the AEW World Tag Team titles in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Since Rey Fenix had an injury / travel problems, he could not be there, so they subbed in Pac. It was just a standard tag match, good match. Pac selling the black mist to the eye. He was wearing an eye patch, so apparently he's just got one eye these days. Malachi Black at the end of the match, he blew black mist into Pac's good eye. So now I think Pac is just walking around stumbling into walls, but he lost the match for them after the poison to the eyes. So I think we're headed. I mean, obviously, this is going to be a blindfold match down the road, right?
No.
Malachi Black versus Pac.
John DeConnie knows the kind of match I'm looking for here.
Yeah, so somebody mentioned that Pac should talk to Ray, ask him about wrestling with one eye.
Yeah.
He's got none.
The only thing I can come up with is as long as he doesn't come up with the same ending to it.
John DeConnie, there was a TV title match as well on Rampage.
Yes, the Tony Nese was making his at least television debut. The first time he would be on either Rampage or Dynamite in the ring against Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. And these two went at it for almost 13 minutes. It was a spot fest. You had Sammy hitting his standing Spanish fly, a moonsault to the floor. Just crazy. Tony Nese kicked him off the top turnbuckle. They both fell to the floor. Nese hit a tumbling suicide dive to the floor, a 450 splash, tossed Sammy for a buckle bomb. But in the end, it was Sammy with the GTH and the 1-2-3 defending his TNT championship.
That's how happens. That's gotta be like what, 3-4 title defenses already for Sammy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Something to that effect, yeah.
And then I just saw a scroll in the bottom part of the screen. Jade Cargill defeated Inaction in 34 seconds. Good job, Jade. Ryan Joy, this is where we're going to bid you adieu. There's a question for you. I want to see El Phantasma. How about El Phantasma going for the TNT
That's
title?
fun. Yeah, that's fun.
That
was Sammy's 4th title defense. Sammy is 10-1 on the year. He has a loss to MJF. That's it.
And I know I haven't been on air in a while, but I believe I made a decree on one of your discussion threads that El Phantasmo will now be known as Cockknocker going forward.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Also, you did not mention, I don't believe, unless I wasn't paying attention, that AEW moving in on your territory this week.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be at UBS. They're there now. They loaded in yesterday. So
Yeah, they're
I
in
guess I don't know if
WWE mode, right?
What's that?
They're in WWE mode.
I think somebody caught on to that and changed it, or somebody saw the event notes and the conversion schedule and changed that. That was hysterical. I laughed. But yeah, Wednesday night they'll be at UBS Arena in beautiful Belmont. UBS Arena at Belmont Park in Elmont, New York. It's really, I don't know why
It's too bad. It's too bad Tony Nese didn't have that match this week.
Yeah. That would have been nice to have Tony come home, but MJF should get a thunderous ovation from the Long Island crowd where he's from.
It'll be thunderous, that's for sure.
But yeah, they loaded in yesterday. There's 3 days. I don't know if they're filming Dark or filming Elevation, but they had the arena for 3 days, and then I got to clean up after them, and I'm right back to work Thursday morning. So, Ryan, again, I appreciate you. You made the request to get out early. Hopefully, maybe you have a nice little dinner date with Maggie May. Maybe I know she cooks breakfast on Tuesdays. I'm always so jealous of that.
Yeah, we will be having breakfast here momentarily.
There you go, pal. All right, Ryan. Thank you again. Thank you again for the Ms. Funko Pop, and thank you again for filling in for me. I appreciate it, and we will see you next week.
See ya.
See you later, buddy.
There we go. Way small. We good? We're good. Looks like we're good.
Word.
All right. So we're gonna switch gears now to Impact Wrestling, and before we get into this past Thursday's episode, I was upset I wasn't on last week. Just have to reiterate the fact that Wrestle House, I thought it was going to be a couple segments here and there, whatever, just for some silliness. It was the whole entire episode. Chris Sabin had me in tears the entire time, anytime he came on TV. It was just absolutely brilliant. I don't know, I usually have an award show at the end of December. I'm putting this out there now. The Karl with a K award for best episode of professional wrestling in the year 2021 was Wrestle House 2 on Thanksgiving night. Absolutely incredible. So with that, now we're back to, I guess, live action, if you want to call it that, this past Thursday, and we're feeling the fallout from Turning Point. And Matt Cardona opened the show saying he got screwed over at Turning Point by Morrissey. Moose came out, gave Matt a new nickname, Mid Cardona. I lost it. Matt did not take that too lightly. Slapped the mic out of Moose's hand. It turned into a brawl. Morrissey came out, turned into a 2-on-1. Then Eddie Edwards came out to thwart the attack. Turned into a tag team match at the end. John DeConnie. Moose and Morrissey aren't getting along, but they had another backstage discussion. Moose said, if you help me take out Cardona, I promise you will get a championship match. And I don't think Morrissey believes him. I don't believe him.
No, why would you believe him? He's a scumbag. But then again, so is Morrissey, so it works out well.
Yes.
But yes, in the main event, we had Cardona and Eddie versus Moose and Morrissey. And it was, 15, almost 16 minutes of brutality. I mean, just, the two big men, just some extra oomph on every single strike from them. Eddie knows how to brawl, and Cardona made a good showing of himself, even though he's a little more finesse than brutality, but, he had a good showing. And in fact, once again, not unlike Ruby Soho in the last segment, Moose attempted a Uranagi. Cardona countered into a wheelbarrow and a roll-up under into the old Raw roll-up for the 1-2-3. And he pins the world champion.
Yeah, Moose took a crack at Cardona for his his one-day Intercontinental title reign. So he was like, all right, you want to bring up WWE? You want to bring up Raw? Gets him with the Raw roll-up. Beautiful foreshadowing. Again, beautiful writing from Impact Wrestling. I liked it.
Absolutely.
Also, Rachel Ellering, she defeated Savannah Evans after a TKO. My name's Jonah. That's Jonas, right? The Weezer song? My ad doesn't work then. All right, Jonah defeated Jay Vidal after a tsunami. Post-match, Jonah grabbed the mic saying he wants Moose and the Impact Championship, but he also wants Josh Alexander because everyone's saying Josh Alexander is the greatest wrestler in the world. In order to be that, you have to go through Jonah.
The top dog.
Top dog, yeah. So, sure. Okay, you gotta appreciate the balls on him, but yeah. So he calls out probably the two top guys in Impact Wrestling in his second or third week there, or whatever it is. But yeah, so Bronson Reed has found a new home. He's not fun-loving Bronson Reed right now. It sounds like he's a heel character. If he's going after Josh Alexander and saying he's the man, so
Yeah,
what happens with that? Rich Swann and Willie Mack, they defeated Violent by Design after a 450 from Swann on Diener. Post-match attack by Eric Young, thwarted by Heath and Rhino. So that leads to, this is going to be fun, this Thursday, it is going to be a street fight between Eric Young and the Man Beast Rhino from Detroit, Michigan, the last ever ECW champion. John Smith, who do you got in the street fight?
Oh. I'm going to go with Eric Young on this one. Nothing against Rhino, obviously. He's one of my all-time favorites, but I think Violent by Design is going to have something to say about the finish to this match.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to keep everybody back, because there's 7 guys involved in this feud now, between the 3 guys on Violent by Design. Now you got Swann, Willie, with Heath, if necessary. So it's like, I think they just got to keep everybody in the back, and these two just kick the crap out of each other, John McConnell.
Yeah, exactly. They got to have something to let this just be a one-on-one, even though it is a street fight. But while my heart will always be with the Motor City Man Beast, I think EY coming off, he's back from the injury. He's looking good. I think he takes this one, underhanded tactics and all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the experience on this one with well, I guess they're both experienced. I shouldn't say that. And they're both experienced in these type of matches. I just shouldn't say anything about that. Yeah, I said that. Let's just go with Eric Young. We go with that. We had an Aussie reunion this past Thursday. Oh, that tickled me in every which way possible. That was absolutely fun. The inspiration and the influence, or more to Neil Dashwood. They're friends. They're Aussies. They're friends again. They're actually, here we go, ripping off AEW to a point, I guess. But we're going to have the inspiration and the influence team up against Decay. So a match I never thought I'd want to see, but sure, give me Black Taurus versus Jesse Lee, John Conn. Or Cassie Lee, I'm sorry, sure.
Exactly. Because Impact.
Yeah, right.
Impact will impact.
Versus the Iconics. Book it. Love it.
Yeah. This match is going to be it's going to be fantastic. Give me the influence and the inspiration. Unfortunately, I think Rosemary's got to be the one to eat the pin there. But yeah, give me the Aussies and Madison.
Yeah, I see. The thing is, John Smith, I don't know. I think, and then if you throw Caleb in the mix too with those 4, I don't want them to ever feud. I just want them all to be friends and just be idiots. Like, it just like forever. Just don't ever fight each other. Like, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I got Crazy Steve taking the pin in this one, actually.
Okay.
Crazy Steve. That was crazy. Another outstanding performance at Wrestle House by Crazy Steve. The blind jokes, top notch this time. Top notch. As always, top notch. Speaking of Wrestle House, it seems like Rohit Raju was pretty upset that he wasn't involved in Wrestle House. So he's Lawrence D. I guess it was at his house this time, right? I think it was. Yep. That's where it took place. So they got into it backstage, and now they're going to go at it next Thursday. John Smith, I know you're a big Larry D fan.
Larry D all day. He's my Rohit.
So you're telling me the legendary matchup of Lawrence D versus Sting, is that like on the top of your dream card list?
Well, I mean, if I thought Sting was any good, sure. Yeah. It's more Larry D versus like Kurt Angle or Triple H.
What do you got? Oh, you got Larry D. John DeConnie.
Yeah, give me Lawrence D here. Whether he uses the best hand in the house or winds up, blinding him with ring rust. I think he gets it done against Rohit. Who's that smell?
It was the smell. It was that ring rust was what clouded Rosemary's judgment, that she couldn't tell if the virgin blood. So stupid. God, I love Impact. Also, as Scott D'Amore, as he was getting pestered all night long, he made the announcement about 5 times that they will be announcing these 6 competitors for the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match at Hard to Kill. Any stab on who would be in that? I mean, the Impact roster, the Knockout roster has gone up. And I know Rachel Ellering, Savannah Evans, Tasha Steele, Jordan Grace, they all had the conversation in the back. That's what led to that match between Savannah Evans and Rachel Ellering. Also, Alicia Edwards, she was very vocal about wanting to be in that match. So, any stat? Are we missing anybody? Like, who haven't we seen?
Maybe we finally get to see Sue Young again.
Yeah, they have
the only person off the top of my head I could see.
All right. John Smith, any ideas or no?
What's Cardona's wife's name?
Chelsea Green was also very vocal. She was one of the guys pestering. Yeah, D'Amore too. Yes.
Yeah, I think she'll end up in it.
Okay. We have the match that opened Impact last Thursday. Chris Sabin defeated Matthew Raywall with the cradle shot. Chris Sabin, the smoke and the slow motion, the music. But during the match, actually, Deanna was doing commentary. Mickie James just made him just out of nowhere, ran down the ramp, made a beeline for her. They got into the fight. That kind of caused a distraction for Raywall and for Sabin to take advantage of it. So they're going to actually have a mixed tag team match next Thursday on Impact. Deanna and Raywall going against Mickie James and Chris Sabin. So I got Deanna in this one for obvious reasons. There's an autograph on my wall. Not going against that ever again. John DeConnie.
Give me Mickie and Sabin in this one. I think I certainly don't see Sabin getting pinned by Raywalt, and I don't think Mickie James is going to get pinned by Deanna until it really counts.
Yeah, I don't think either of those two, Mickie, or I don't think they're going to be involved in the decision. Just leave them, I guess, strong, right, as people would say. John Smith.
Yeah, I'll agree with John on this one. Mickie and Sabin.
Okay. So now it's fun Impact. God bless that show. God love that show. Gonna make the transition to our main event. We got SmackDown followed by Raw. It's all WWE going forward here. As Pat McAfee said, as SmackDown went on the air, the alpha male of our species has returned. Brock Lesnar is back for the Universal Championship. But Sammy had something to say about it because Sammy won a battle royal by hook or crook the week prior that made him the #1 contender. John DeConnie.
Yeah, so Sammy interrupted Brock, not starting off on an intelligent note right there.
No. He's a fan, though. He was trying to say he was a fan, that's all.
Absolutely. But Sammy runs off at the mouth a little bit. Brock tells him, shut up. Just shut up. I don't even know who you are. But by the end of their segment, Brock, with a little literal and figurative arm twisting, got Sammy to agree that he shouldn't wait for his title shot for day 1 at the pay-per-view. He should do it tonight because his newfound buddy, Brock Lesnar, was going to be right there beside him. So he...
Look at it now. Dude, when they turned and looked up towards the lights, you forget how entertaining and funny Brock Lesnar actually is. Sorry to cut you off, John DeConnie. I know you love WrestleMania 20. It's one of your favorites. That match with Goldberg and WrestleMania, I thought it was amazing. It's hysterical. The crowd took over the match. Was probably the best part about it. But when Lesnar stole Austin's quad leading up to that, he was out of control. Like, Lesnar was absolutely hysterical, and then he just never saw it because Heyman was the mouthpiece. But Lesnar is hysterical.
Yeah. Well, when Lesnar is allowed to do his thing, and there's not I think probably the problem before they brought Paul back to be his mouthpiece, he struggled a little bit there. But I think it was because they were trying to put words in his mouth. If you just let Brock go out there and be Brock, he's pretty goddamn funny.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
So Sammy leaves the ring with the agreement that he's going to go back and ask for his match tonight. He gets backstage. He kind of, sort of half-heartedly asks for it, and then Brock shows up right next to him to make sure that he gets his match that night, and that, furthermore, Brock gets the winner at day one. So there we go. That kicks off.
Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Everybody goes home happy. So this would be the main event. It would be Roman versus Sammy, but Brock would come out to the ring well ahead of the head of the table's entrance, and he was there with Sammy. Sammy pissed him off again, and this time, instead of just twisting his arm, he took him to Suplex City, and again, and again, and an F5, and another F5, and then just kind of propped him up in the corner like a piece of lawn art, and waited for Roman to come down. Roman finally, he has his 37-minute entrance, and it's in the ring just in time for Sammy to come stumbling, rubber-legged out of the corner, right into a spear. He jumped, not that it was necessary, but Roman jumped into the guillotine choke next, and the mission took place in about 16 seconds from bell to bell.
16 seconds, bell to bell. Staying with, so now we have, it's official, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar on New Year's Day, day one. I'm going to comment here. Brock Lesnar, yeah, he did. Staying with the bloodline, it looks like we're firing up Usos and the New Day again, John the County. Is this like when the story, the dust settles on all the careers in the New, is this going to be the greatest tag team feud of all time? Is now I got Mario stuck in my head again.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've already been named. What were they, 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 in the 50 greatest tag teams? So, why wouldn't it be? And they're so much fun. They work so well together. So, it's one of those things where quite often when they do something a lot, you're like, oh Christ, this again. Not when it comes to these two teams. I don't think I've ever complained to see these two teams go at it.
Dude, they tore up that Hell in the Cell match that they did together a couple of years ago. I remember that. That was crazy.
Oh God, that was fantastic. On this particular evening, it would be Woods against the right-hand man, Jey Uso. But we wouldn't. This one only went about 2 minutes when Jimmy just decided in the middle, about 2 minutes into the match, I suppose, to pull Woods off the turnbuckle, and that wound up with a DQ. And it all went to hell after that, and we got flashed backstage to Roman sitting in the locker room watching. And at that point in the night, Roman was not happy with anything that had gone on, from Brock showing up to Sammy getting his match that night. So that for that reason and many others, Roman came out in a bad mood, and Sammy was just there right for the picking.
Yep. John Smith. The show opened, and I got excited because I absolutely love the pairing of Sasha Banks and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, and they delivered on this one. I mean, it wasn't pay-per-view quality, but, it was a nice back-and-forth 2-segment match. A lot of good chain wrestling, a lot of good reversals, submissions, the whole nine. It still ended up having to end in a Raw roll-up, though, with Sasha Banks doing a reversal, getting the roll-through and the 1-2-3 on Shayna. But, the highlight of this was Pat McAfee calling the arm stomp of Shayna Baszler the future endeavors kick, because they showed her doing it to Nia Jax and Eva Marie, and it's just like a nice little jab at all the internet fools that need to white knight for everybody losing their jobs.
Staying in the women's division, Toni Storm might be embarrassed after the week prior. Two-Pie Tony is what I believe she called it. Two-Pie Tony. I think I've seen that video. Two-Pie Tony.
No, that's Cream Pie Tony.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. But she's still after the SmackDown Women's Championship. So that's going to be a fun match. Charlotte denied Tony's challenge, though. So Tony put a pie in Charlotte's face. I got to write. Hold on. She's had it. It was another pie, food pie. No, never mind. Said that wrong.
Not poontang pie.
No, that's the attitude era. That's Rocky's phrase. I don't want to use that. Sheamus defeated Cesaro with a clean with a bro kick. Is everything okay in Cesaro here, Land? I don't feel like
No.
it's going in the right direction for him. Like, he got the title match at the wrong time, and everyone's like, Cesaro's probably in the title match, and the match he's never gonna win. And now we're back to this again. Like,
I'm mildly excited for where I think this is going, because right before that match between Sheamus and Cesaro, we got a Ricochet video package for absolutely no reason. Like, there was no point to it. There was no coming soon or facing this person soon. And then we know Sheamus has his new partner in Ridge Holland, so he's going to need someone to beat up on. So Cesaro's there. You put Cesaro and Ricochet together, they're not winning that feud, but if they stick together, I like that.
yeah.
Cesaro using Ricochet as a weapon would be real fun.
I could see that.
James Wheeler throwing out a "Did you know?" Rich Holland's theme song was used during Liv and Becky promo.
I did not.
Los Lotharios defeated the Viking Raiders after, despite an effort to distract by Nakamura and Boogs. One with the traditional roll up. It says, Sasha Banks did a variation of the roll up. This one was more of the traditional sense that I believe Angel used on one of the Viking Raiders. I didn't remember. But there's Nakamura and Boogs. They were out playing the guitar, trying to distract Angel and Umberto, and it did not work. So the Viking Raiders kind of got upset by that, but then they apologized. Nakamura and Boogs apologized. They were out there, and then they started playing music and dancing together. So that was fun. Drew McIntyre is still butthurt that he wasn't in the Battle Royal the week prior. He wants a word with Pierce. Leading into the Happy Talk segment. When does Madcap Moss stand-up comedy tickets go on sale? Like, when is he going to be at UBS Center? Because, again, the guy just had me in stitches. Like, it was just incredible.
I think he plays Governors on Long Island before that.
Yeah. Apparently, McIntyre and Jeff Hardy can't take the ribs that they were doing, so they came out and laid out both Corbin and Moss. This was scheduled and promoted. Jeff Hardy. Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in this for now. Hearing rumors and speculations that Jeff Hardy had a rough night this past weekend. Was sent home. Matt did provide an update on Twitch or something that he's home, he's safe, he's fine. But that's all he's going to say because it's none of his business. So it's not his place to tell, which is fair.
You know what the best predictor of future behavior is? Past behavior.
It's a fair assessment. Xia Li will finally make her SmackDown debut, The Great Protector, and all those comic book stuff that they've been doing. The Japanese anime for a Chinese wrestler. That makes all the sense in the world.
Don't let little details get in the way of a good story, right?
Yeah, exactly, right?
What's the difference?
Slap out of Naomi. Sonya Deville slapped the crap out of Naomi, accepting the challenge. We're finally going to get it, boys. The Jerseyest of all Jersey girls, Sonya Deville, back in the ring this Friday night. Naomi is in trouble. John Smith, who do you got?
I got Sonya Deville winning this one. This isn't over yet, though. I'm looking at the two of them in a big, like maybe steel cage type match at day one.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, exactly. I see this going to some kind of big blow off. Once again, I'm not even sure this week we'll get Sonya in ring gear. She might show up in her shirt and tie again and find some underhanded way to win here before we go to some big match where hopefully she will legitimately wrestle. But give me Sonya in this match.
Yep, if it happens. All right, and then switching gears from SmackDown. Also, we got a comment. Gary. Have officially been told by somebody in the company that as far as Jeff goes, he'll be grand. He'll be grand. Okay, so he'll be all right.
Can you translate that to American?
Okay in Irish.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, can you translate that to American?
Yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be
me Lucky Charms.
Switching gears about last night. Speaking of Jersey girls, going from one Jersey girl to another, Liv got her title match. John DeConnie. I figured with the big time match that it was, they main evented. Actually, they did this year in history or this moment in history, and they brought up the Trish Stratus versus Lita match. That was the first ever female main event of a Monday Night Raw that happened in 2004, I think, or 6 or somewhere in there. So they're main eventing with Liv and Beck, and I was like, oh my god, this is the main event. This is a big match. It's a big deal. I was hoping Becky was gonna wear that Scarlet Witch outfit again from Survivor Series. She did.
Yeah, like you said, they talked about the history of that night and the women's division. Oh God, we had Becky backstage earlier in the evening with Sarah, where she, she was playing up the egotistical heel. Oh, it's a huge night for Liv Morgan. It's just another Monday for big time Becks. Then we got to the ring. Now, for the 2 weeks that we've known that this match is coming, I thought Liv had no chance whatsoever. Because first of all, they weren't doing it at a pay-per-view. It was just going to be on a Monday night. It was no big deal, whatever. No chance. They played up the Lita and Trish angle. They played up Becky being a bitch backstage. Then they get to the ring, and Liv looks like she's ready to cry during the introductions.
Yeah.
Like she is overcome with emotion. And by the time they rang that bell, I was convinced that Liv was taking this title. Even if it was just they were going to flip the title for a couple of weeks, they redo it at day one, and Bex takes it back. I was convinced Liv was going to win this title against all previous rationale. But once again, Liv countered her way out of the manhandle slam into that wheelbarrow roll underneath version of the Raw roll up, but Becky reversed it, and just like she did against Charlotte, she grabbed the ropes, which I guess somehow gives you leverage, and 1, 2, 3, she stole the victory and retained her Raw Women's Championship.
Yeah, that's how she. If holding the rope is going to keep Charlotte Flair down, that's going to keep Liv Morgan down too. Unfortunately, James chiming in. He wishes Liv won the match. Rivalry starting to remind me of some of the next level Rock Mankind stuff. That's high praise right there. I hope Liv wins the rematch at day one because WWE has seriously underappreciated her.
I hope these two don't have an empty arena match with chairs.
I still don't get what people see in Liv Morgan besides her looks. She's like just a guy, like she's not anything special.
The show curtain jerk with Big E defeating Kevin Owens. I'm sorry, Big E fighting Kevin Owens. I didn't mean to steal your thunder there. I don't want to spoil the John McConaughey recap here. Kevin Owens and Big E in a steel cage.
Okay, well, we have to go back further than that because during Ryan's segment, there was a reference to Rocky IV. So we have to go to the show opener where Seth Rollins welcomed us all to Monday Night Rollins and said that at day one, it would be a new era where he took over as champ, et cetera, et cetera. They bounced around. Also backstage for a quick promo was Big E, who had some words for KO that tonight, because they were in a steel cage, there would be no easy way out, no shortcut home, from the famous scene in Rocky IV, of course. Mm-hmm. Then we get into it. KO says, Big E's just holding the belt for me. I'm going to take it at day one. We get into the steel cage, and these two big men, they're not 6'4", but these are some thick boys, and they were beating the hell out of each other, and they were flying around that cage. We get about 12 minutes into the match. The door is open. They're both crawling forward. Both of their heads are through the ropes and almost out of the cage, and Rollins slams the door on both of them. They battle each other for another almost 8 minutes. KO gets up over the top of the cage. He gets one leg out. It looks like he might be headed down the other side, but Big E grabs him, pulls him back in. They're already standing on the turnbuckle in the corner, and from there, it's an avalanche, big ending to the ground. Doesn't go for the pin, crawls. He was about as far away from the door as you could be. Yeah. He was all the way across the ring in the opposite corner, but the avalanche big ending was enough to keep KO down and allow Big E to crawl out the door to the floor. And then Rollins would attack both of them.
Yeah, but wait, there's more.
Yeah. So Rollins attacks Big E just outside the ring. They start to raise the cage. Rollins goes back into the cage. He roughs up KO a little bit, and he's just about to deliver the stomp when Big E recovers, catches him, flips him in a belly to belly, and then just for good measure, because Kevin Owens was just getting back up to his feet anyway, delivers a second big ending to KO. We go to commercial break. And I get pissed off when we come back from commercial break and matches have already started and things like that. In this commercial break, we missed a pretty important thing.
Yes.
Bobby Lashley decided to come out and beat the hell out of all three of them. Just to remind us that he's Bobby effing Lashley and he is a bad, bad man.
Yeah, James Wheeler's thinking it could be a fatal four-way now. And a Bobby Lashley added to the mix, possibly. He also sees Big E winning. If it is a triple threat, then he wants to see career versus title match at the Rumble so that Kevin Owens can go to AEW.
Yep.
Kevin Owens ain't going anywhere.
I believe that was one of my last predictions on the Daily Wrestling News Show, was that Kevin Owens was winning the Royal Rumble. So
mine was Keith Lee.
Miz TV with Edge, get excited because 2022 is going to be the year of the Miz, and he's going to kick it off by fighting Edge at day one. I tell you what, Miz just, man, he's really holding on to this getting kicked out of the locker room thing that happened 15 years ago. He's really holding on to that, so good. Whatever. I guess that's the story you have to do with those two, right? They really didn't have any interaction other than that, I guess. We had a United States Open Challenge. Damian Priest defeated Bobby Roode to retain the title after the Reckoning. Super kick by Ziggler on Priest, hitting him flush in the armpit and knocking him out post-match. So maybe that's Priest's his weak spot. You know, he has the Achilles. That's where he's gonna get beat. Queen Zelina defeated Nikki Ash after Code Red, and it looks like Zelina Vega, our beloved queen, is starting a new trend. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but she's the tag team champion, and she won a match. So we're starting yes, I know, right? So we're starting a new trend here with the tag team championships. Let's see how this plays out for Zelina and Carmella. Who knows?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say the new trend was to see how many different accents you could fit into one promo.
Oh, no. She already started that. No, the trend is winning as a tag team champion. It's a crazy concept. Finn Balor defeated T-Bar with the coup de grace, the coup de grace. I thought it was coup de grace, right? Isn't it? Why did they say Grace? Grace died 3 years ago. Post-match attack by Austin Theory, a motivated Austin Theory, who was getting advice from Vince McMahon. Vince told him to expect the unexpected last week, and then told him to suit up for a match, but he didn't get ready in time. Austin Theory's funny. He kept on looking at his bicep and giggling like that. He's getting good. He's good. He belongs in Wrestle House. And then Bianca Belair defeated Doudrop via count out. So Doudrop, Bianca tried to get her up in the KOD, and Doudrop got out of it, rolled under the bottom rope, and just walked away.
Yeah, it was too close for her. She didn't like that feeling of being up in the air.
I guess not. Is that what the story? Like, she's afraid of heights? Is that going to be the story? Like,
it works.
She's never left her feet before.
I guess not. Yeah.
She is the innovator of the low cross body. So
yeah. And then John Smith. A tournament was born. A tournament was created. The winners eventually become the number one contenders for the tag team championships. But I'll let you have fun with it.
Yeah, we got ourselves the arcade. Yeah, the arcade bronament. Maybe they could have come up with something better, but maybe that's why they went with it, because it's very it's
brittle.
It's brittle, yeah, definitely.
It's really it's brittle. Nice jackets too. That was good.
Yeah, they're coming out like reporters and stuff. So we get AJ Styles and Omos versus the Street Profits. AJ starts the match. Profits obviously get the upper hand off the bat. Omos pushes the rope down when Dawkins was about to hit the rope, so he flies out of the ring. That gives them the upper hand. Come back from commercial. AJ Styles is back in the ring now. Now the Street Profits have the upper hand, of course. So yada yada yada. We get to the point where one of them smacks Omos in the face, and that just makes him irate. So AJ Styles is about to do the phenomenal forearm. Omos tags himself in. He goes to the outside, starts beating up the both of them, and eventually gets counted out for his efforts. And AJ and Omos are eliminated from the arcade tournament. And then at the end, we get a little, it's starting to look like we're getting a rift between the two of them. AJ insists that it was just a miscommunication, but, it looks like the beginning of the end for Omos and AJ Styles.
Yeah, AJ, I think, handled it pretty well. Like normal heels, you didn't do it right. Is whatever. Sorry, you gotta listen to me. He was very calm about it. He was nice. He did put his hand on. It was funny. He put his hand on his chest. He had to pick his full extension to put his hand on his chest. You gotta listen to me, and he was nice about it. So that was the first match in the Arcade Bronham. The second one saw the Mysterios defeat at the Alpha Academy after Dominic used the Royal Roll-Up on Chad Gable. Otis was never tagged in the match, so that, I don't know if you want to call it good strategy by the Mysterios or bad strategy on the part of Chad Gable for not trying to tag out, but Otis never got in. Riddle went in to do an interview with him because he was he's the ringside correspondent for the tournament. Otis just picked him up, slammed him down with like the Vader splash or the world's strongest slam, whatever you want to call it. So Alpha Academy is now eliminated too. So now we have heel champions where their next challengers will be, face champions, and next challengers will be faced as well as the Street Profits and the Mysterios will fight in the finals of the Arcade Tournament and earn a chance, presumably at day one for the Raw Tag Team Championship. John Smith.
I don't see either one of these teams taking the belts off of RK Bro, so give me the Mysterios.
John DeConnie?
Yeah, like you said, it's faces all around, so I don't really know where this is going. So just for S's and G's, give me the Street Profits.
Yeah, okay, so I would go with Street Profits too, because then we're playing this whole father-son championship thing again. I guess maybe you can do it. Maybe the first ever two-time father-son, they keep on rolling with that. So, I don't know. I'm going to go with the Street Profits. The Street Profits usually tend to win these contenders matches because they're pretty much the only, real team in WWE. Not just two guys thrown together. So that will do it. That hour and a half. Wow, we flew through that. I guess when you have all those in-action matches in AEW, it goes by quick. You're not really talking about all that much. I got shot. Travis was pissed. I go on there. I usually try to bite my tongue because I don't want to be negative when it comes to wrestling. Sometimes with AEW, I'll just throw it out there just to try to get the rise out of Travis. So, my bad. So here we go. I got the EWP logo. Let me change the banner and reason for Raw to stay up there. There we go. So the primetime rundown, powered by StreamYard with Joey Jarzinga, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca, is now airing at 7 p.m. on Friday nights. That is a 6 or 7. Yeah, Friday's a 7. There you go. 7 p.m. on Friday nights as they take you through the world of sports right here on all the Eastern Observer platforms. For more information, please go to theeasternobserver.com. With this, we have invaded the primetime rundown and are part of this little Eastern Observer football survivor pool. Here are the standings on our side. We went 3 and 4. I know Gary picked a no contest. I think he's giving up. I don't even think he's trying anymore to understand American football. He picked Lawrence Taylor last week. I guess that's the only football guy he does now. But anyway, John DeConnie has taken back over first place with the Miami Dolphins beating the Giants. Travis didn't get his pick in time. John, the Detroit Lions were going to win eventually, you'd think. It just happened to be the week that you picked against them. You and Ryan picked against them. I heard that Gardner Minshew was under center for the Eagles. I could not stay away from Minshew mania, and Tyler piggybacked off my pick. So here we are. We still have a substantial lead. We went 3-3. The primetime rundown also went 3-3. Ian Schreier also joining John DeConnie in the 10-win column. I guess Larry Park, I believe is his name. He took an L. Rock that one. Joey Jarzanka back up to 500. He's not in last place anymore. If he wants to put himself in last by giving, I know he credited the tie between the Steelers and the Lions. He credited that as a loss for everybody. I'm not that bad. I gave everybody a tie. So with that concept, that moves Joey Jarzanka into 5th and not in last place where he's been hanging out the entire season. So there you go, Joe. You're welcome, pal. The Body Slam Brigade newsletter, over 4,500 subscribers, received this weekly column. Make sure you go to minutestobelltime.com to subscribe. The Body Slam Brigade by Ryan for you for free. Unfortunately, I think I just missed it. Did we celebrate the year anniversary of the Black Cats' new release of their album, Free Cake? Do we have a cake for the 1 year anniversary? We should have free cake.
There was no official celebration.
Oh, that stinks. All right, well maybe next week we'll bring in some free cake and we'll listen to the music. But they are the official band of the Eastern Observer. Please go to all of these music suppliers to pick up your copy of the album Free Cake by the Black Cats NYC. As always, the Central Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com, the internet leader in sports entertainment pick'em pools. Join us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast public pool to play against us or create a private pool with you and your friends. ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And guys, she'll like it too. Join us back here next week for episode 84. Like I said, we relocated. We came up an hour, hoping to get myself on air a little more often. So for those of you who got the memo and showed up on time today at 5 o'clock, we appreciate it. For those of you who are tuning in late, please don't be afraid to go back and rewind. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, iHeartRadio. So we're all over the place. Don't forget, we are still on Zingo TV, I believe channel 198.
Nice.
We got one more comment flying in. James Wheeler. Going to miss Kyle and Johnny in NXT. They've done so much for the brand. Tonight is the night. Oh, he actually had a fun little fact, too, about Doudrop. This Doudrop is in this heel role because Bianca Belair was supposed to feud with Nia Jax.
Huh.
Talk about typecasting.
Yeah, right. I'm watching that match. I'm like, this is just for her to be able to put Doudrop over on into the KO thing, like put her on her back, just to do one squat with Doudrop on her back and power select. So that is it. I love it. 90 minutes. I don't have to go usually the bathroom pretty bad at the end of the show. Now I don't have to go as bad. All the water I'm drinking. John Smith, anything from you before we go?
No, just glad to have you back, and good luck in our fantasy football playoffs. We could take the next 2 weeks off if we really wanted to in our fantasy league.
Yeah, we clinched. John Smith and I were in. I think I want to say Danny's in too, but I think the fourth spot's still open.
No, Danny. If Danny loses out, he could technically not make it.
Yeah, so John Smith and I were probably going to get the seed numbers 1 and 2. Hopefully, we'll have a rematch from last year's Super Bowl. John DeConnie, I believe, I think first or second place in your pool as well.
Yeah, you and I are both in the playoffs as it stands right now. With 2 weeks to go. So.
Yeah, so all the fantasy football talk. I love fantasy football so much fun. I'm actually not doing too bad in my other leagues either. But the thing is, though, I have Tom Brady in one of my leagues. He got 30 points this week. John Smith, how does Tom Brady have 50 points in your score?
I don't know. Ask Chris Holland.
Yeah, that's right. One guy complained about John Smith scoring. We're like, why are you complaining about it? Like, it's not like the scoring is equal for everybody, but it's times 2 when we play against you. Like, it's not like it's the same points for everybody. Like, I don't think, just relax.
Yeah, it values yards more, which makes touchdowns, which are very random, less valuable in the long run. So yeah, all it is there's bonus points as you get higher in yardage.
All right, so that'll do it. Episode 83 in the books. Glad to be back, boys. And as my plastic surgeon always said, If you gotta go with a smile. Oh, wait, hold on. Alexa Bliss, I love you.